everyone, welcome to Black Mean Bear Healing. I'm Melanie Gardner and this is my group for those of you that don't know. So I thought I would do a very quick video today just introducing you to the concept of how to bond with crystals, because that is something that I get asked about quite a lot, as kind of where do you start. I have this beautiful crystal sat on my desk and I don't know how to connect with it. Or people have been told that citrine is good for money, so they've gone, I'll have some of that, and they've got it sat on the desk and they have no idea what to do with it. So I thought I would just do a quick video on my 5 top tips on how to bond with your crystals, get to know them and start to build that connection. So the first step is obviously to pick a crystal. This is one of my smoky quartz pieces. It's not the most nicely cut, it's not particularly fancy, but it is my absolute favourite. It's full of crystal, it's full of rainbows, it's full of interesting patterns and shapes, and I just absolutely get lost looking at it. And that is one of the things that I recommend you do when you get a crystal, is spend some time doing what's called crystal gazing. And crystal gazing is exactly as it sounds, it is just gazing into your crystal. Now I like to pride myself on being able to pick all of my crystals out of a lineup. I have a few crystals, and I genuinely believe that if they were on a table with other similar crystals, so if there was a full table of smoky quartz, I would be able to pick mine out of a lineup, because I have spent time getting to know this crystal. In the same way that if you were to start a friendship or any other relationship with somebody, I like to think that you wouldn't treat all females as, oh, you're a female so you like this and you need this and you do this. Crystals are the same. You don't think, oh, this is a smoky quartz, it's da-da-da-da-da-da. Get to know each individual crystal when you first get it. And one of the ways is crystal gazing. Another way is to do some research around it. So read a couple of books. I will do another video on some books that I highly recommend that I found very helpful in my journey. Yeah, do a little bit of research around it. Some of it will resonate with you, some of it will not, because what I tend to find is what's in the book is that author's experience of that crystal. So I tend to find that when I work with a crystal, it's not too far off, but it's not always 100% accurate. So don't take everything like verbatim, but it is a good start in place for you to build on. Another thing is to meditate with crystals. So that can literally be just sitting with a crystal, holding it. A good thing to do is to maybe put it aside for a minute, breathe, center yourself, calm yourself, and then pick up your crystal. So then you can pick up any subtle changes within your body, and I don't care how subtle that change is, that is likely because of the crystal. And the more time you spend doing that, those subtle changes will become more obvious, and you'll be able to know that that is the crystal communicating with you. Because remember, not everybody communicates the same way, and crystals do communicate with us, but they have their own language, and part of this process is learning that language. Okay, before there was language, there were signs and symbols, and that is how the universe communicated. Humans then developed their own language and kind of lost the sacred art of subtle energies and signs and symbols, which I think is a real shame, but it is something that we can build upon and return back to. So you may well feel a heat in your hand, you may well feel a tingle somewhere in your body, you might feel a chakra kind of flutter, so you might feel like a heart flutter, or you might get an inspired thought that appears to come out of nowhere. You might get a memory that again appears to come out of nowhere. I tend to find when this happens, it's highlighting a healing need that needs to be worked on, something that's kind of in your aura and needs to be looked at and worked through. And it's letting you know that this crystal can help with this process. So yeah, maybe keep a journal after that, that's a good idea. So sit and meditate. And I do advise, when you do meditate with crystals as a way of getting to know them, you journal to document how that's gone, any sensations that have come up, and do it more than once. Because say for example, same with anything, you go to the gym on day one, you don't expect to see a result on day one, do you? Do you start a diet and expect a result on day one? Sometimes these things take time to see a difference and to feel a difference, and crystals are no different to any other modality of learning or any other process. It's all learning. So what have we done now? We've done research, we've done crystal gazing, we've done meditating, charging and cleansing can be good ways of bonding with crystals. So I think I've done a video before. If not, I probably will be doing a refresher at some point on how and why we cleanse crystals and how and why we charge crystals. It may have been in my course, so I probably will do a video on that. But essentially that is a way of bonding, because you try various methods, you see how the crystal feels, and the idea is to pick up on the subtle differences. So for example, if you cleanse a crystal with smoke, a carnelian crystal say with smoke, and then the next month you cleanse it under the full moon, you might well feel the difference in the energy of that crystal. You might do, you might not, but that's part of the fun and that's part of getting to know that crystal. There are lots out there to experiment with, that's part of the fun. See which ones you're drawn to. And another way, the final way that I'm going to talk to you about today, there are other ways, but for today, is just to carry them around with you. Carry them around and see if anything comes up that maybe you think, well, that's unusual, or that's never happened before, and really start paying attention to your surroundings, and that's kind of the idea. I know a lot of people get caught up in, well, I can't feel anything. That's absolutely fine. Crystals are always, when they're in your environment, they are impacting with your aura, they are impacting with your energy field. Whether you like it or not, they are there and they are doing what they do. However, how much this impacts you or how much you feel it depends on how much time you've spent practicing on working with the subtle energy fields, and how focused you are on the activity at the time. So for example, you could be, same again with anything, if you're cleaning the house and there's music on, you might not really be paying attention to it, and you hear the end of your favourite song and you think, I need to listen to it again so I can feel that song, or I can really appreciate that song. It's the same with crystals. If they're in your house and you're not really paying attention to them, they're still there, they're still doing their thing, but you get more from the experience if you really focus and really take your time to engage with that process and engage with that crystal. This was supposed to be 5 minutes, it's now closer to 7, so I will wrap it up here, and I will do more videos in the future around favourite books to work with crystals and various other topics, just to give you a quick introduction. I hope you found that helpful. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much. Bye.